Well, Super Tuesday was quite a Super Tuesday, and it did not go quite the way some of the candidates wanted it to go. So let's do just a brief recap. We've got just a couple days ago, Amy Klobuchar is still in the race. Pete Buttigieg is still in the race. And there's all this concern about Bernie Sanders. The National Democrats are scared to death that he's going to become the nominee and not play ball the way you're supposed to play ball, and also destroy their down ballot candidates. Meaning, if you're running for Congress somewhere and it's a swing district and Bernie Sanders is sitting on top of the ballot, they think he's going to kill him. So the National Democrats did something actually pretty impressive. Stupid, but impressive. They got two of the candidates, the more moderate candidates, if that's what you want to call them, they got them to jump out of the race and jump behind Biden. Essentially, they got the entire country, or the entire Democratic Party, to unite behind Joe Biden. Mike Bloomberg has even since dropped out of the race today and united behind Joe Biden. Now, it's impressive if you have that level of control of your party. I will tell you, I'm more of an individual freedom guy, but I still think it's impressive that the powers that be in the Democrat Party were able to look at their party and say, you know what? All right, he's got to go, and Klobuchar's got to go. And, now that Bloomberg's out, let's get him on board. And they were just able to pick and choose. And I think, that's kind of impressive. But, and there's a big but here, all this momentum is with Joe Biden. And everybody today is calling Joe Biden the comeback kid. And Joe Biden, and look how impressive Biden is. And woo, he had a big Super Tuesday. And he did. He did. But Joe Biden is still Joe Biden, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care how many stripes you paint on that leopard, the spots are still there. And Joe Biden is, to be real nice about it, a walking gaffe machine. Joe Biden is creepy. He's always smelling people. Joe Biden is mean. The same Joe Biden that was screaming at reporters, that was poking supporters in the chest, that called a voter who he needs in his corner fat. That same Joe Biden is still there, people. Joe Biden hasn't all of a sudden morphed into some superstar candidate because the Democratic Party united behind him and now he's the presumptive nominee. Joe Biden is still a walking grease fire. On top of the fact, look, I don't know what is wrong with Joe Biden, if there's something really degenerative wrong with him, or he's just getting senile, or maybe he's just this way. But the truth of the matter is, Joe Biden is not a good candidate. Joe Biden can't remember the state he's in, can't ever keep his train of thought. I'll play you a video in just a few of Joe Biden mistaking his wife for his sister. He's still Joe Biden is what I'm telling you. And what I'm telling you is it's impressive the Democratic Party can get all the candidates to unite behind one guy, but they picked the wrong guy. Joe Biden is not a superstar. And you can complain about people like Pete Buttigieg, and obviously I'm not a big fan, but you had a young, ambitious guy that, you could have taken a chance on. You're facing a juggernaut. You're facing a political phenom in Donald Trump with a good economy, meaning you have a long shot to win the presidency. So you don't go with somebody who's old and safe just because he was vice president for 8 years. You don't go with a walking gaffe machine. Take a chance. Get with Buttigieg. Shoot, go with Tulsi Gabbard, Andrew Yang. Do one of these outside-of-the-box candidates. It's bizarre that the party would be that dumb. You have all the power in the world, apparently, to choose your candidate, and you chose Joe Biden? This is Joe Biden.
By the way, this is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, this is oh, you switched on me. This is my wife. This is my sister. They switched on me.
People, that would be a funny little bit if it was just that bit. But it's endless. I could occupy the entire next hour of the show showing you all the clips of Joe Biden saying things that are like, wait, what? And that's beyond all the creepy stuff. We don't talk about it that much anymore. But Joe Biden, remember, he has a serious touching and sniffing problem, especially when it comes to kids and babies. Look at this video. Does this make you comfortable? Watching this, does this make you comfortable? Imagine you're sitting there and that's your baby. What? Even the kid turns away. And by the way, 8, 9, 10 years old, always grabbing and touching and sniffing and It's weird, and it comes off as weird. And maybe it's just one of these old timers that doesn't have a real good, sense of personal space, but that doesn't come off well. Oh, and he's a liar, a serial liar. He lied along, and he's been a serial liar forever. I remember he's lied about degrees. He lied about the whole Hunter Biden thing. Do you remember this wonderful story about taking on a gangster named Corn Pop?
This was the diving board area, and I was one of the guards, and they weren't allowed to. There was a 3-meter board, and if you fell off sideways, you landed on the darn cement over there. And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, and back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, "Hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off." Well, he came off, and he said, "I'll meet you outside." My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, "I'll be waiting for you." He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razors. Not a joke.
What? I mean, that didn't happen. Not a single person in the world actually believes that happened. And Joe Biden has a history of this. Now, because he's always thought of as being, the jester, nobody takes him that seriously. But once he becomes the Democratic nominee, if it turns out he becomes the Democratic nominee, and that looks likely, he's going to have to answer for a lot of this stuff. He's going to have to convince Rust Belt swing voters why he wants to wipe out the energy industry and he'll be better for voters than Donald Trump is. They backed the wrong horse. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to burst your bubble. I know we have a bunch of Democrat viewers. If you're a Joe Biden fan or you think you had a good night, believe me when I tell you, you did not. You took a C- politician and you're going to make him the Democratic nominee for president of the United States of America. And Joe Biden ain't ready for prime time. Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.